drummer from Ayers.
Are y'all ready to go out there now? Hey, House Theater, are y'all ready to go out there? Hey, Money Man, you ready to go big brother? Boy, Money Man, are you ready to go too now? Look here. I said, are you ready to go out there now? Well, if y'all ain't ready to go, we're ready to go up here now. And when y'all get ready to go, y'all just let us know now. All right? I said, you just let us know when you're ready to go. Because we are ready to go, y'all. I said, what now? We know Southeast in the house tonight, y'all. Southeast in the house tonight now. We want to know who is in the house tonight, y'all. Northwest in the house tonight now, y'all. All right then. Do it. Oh, ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go down now.
We're here to turn this motherfucker up tonight. Let's go. I wear the keys in the building. Tell me how you feeling. You got the keys in the building. Tell me how you feeling. I wear the keys in the building. It's my man, Weez.
What's going on?
What's up, Weez?
Ain't much, man. How's everybody doing?
Man, I'm glad to have you close with Boo Jones, man. Look, man, you know we go back, man. So this is just like us rapping on the phone, man.
That's right.
Man, first of all, love you, man.
Love
And,
y'all
and
too, man.
and you know I'm a fan, definitely a fan of what you do, man. So you know what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna take it from the roots, man, all the way into what's going on right now. So we want you to, just be you. Tell us, man. Tell us where Weez come from, where Weez started, the seed of Weez. And then we're gonna get into, how everything else unfolded. But man, you gotta take us from the concrete, man, from the foundation.
Man,
So
we started as this young little what was I, 9 or 10, beating on boxes like junkyard, right on the floors of Good Hope Road, apartment on Good Hope Road, Southeast, man. But from that point, man, just staying with drums and actually doing a lot, man, on drums at a young age, getting offers from people contacting my mother, people wanting me to tour the country, tour the world, and ended up
I'm gonna have to
playing.
stop you for a minute. I'm gonna have to stop you because I'm gonna have to go back further. That just seems like a little bit grass up top. First of all, where you get the name Weez?
Oh man, Weez came on when we lived on Savannah 23rd in Savannah. My sister used to call me Weezawop.
Okay. So was that
So
before
they
the
so they moved
show?
so they moved to WAP and they just kept Weeds.
Was that before
Yeah.
the 9 show? Because I
Man,
want to get
I can't even remember what I looked like. I don't remember doing nothing. All I remember they said I was Weezer Wop on 23rd and Alabama. Them apartments right there behind you know where that is.
So
Yeah, but that's
was that before beating on the boxes
that was
or what?
before beating on the boxes. They said I
That's
used to
what
run around and just do stuff. They said Weezer Wop. My sister, that's Weezer Wop. Yeah, that's where Weez came from. But it's stuck in there, man. I've been using it. Of course, of course, in the go-go world, that's what everybody basically know me of as Weez. Lorrel is an alien name. They don't know that one.
Yeah, come on, man. So
Yeah,
tell
but
us a little bit about, okay, back to the beating on the boxes, and how was your life? What when coming up, man? How was everything, man? Talk about it.
man, I had an uncle that played for a group called Gene and Eddie. They were making records off of Good Hope Road, man. They had records, uh, like back then they used to do what 45s, the little records and stuff, man. And he bought me a set of drums at the age of my first set was I was 11. After beating on the boxes everywhere, they bought me my first set. I just immediately started playing. I ain't need no practice. Everything just went playing drums, coordination, everything, man. And then we moved in Parkland, and from off of Good Hope Road, we moved to Parkland, and that's when I used to have my drum set, man, playing. And my neighbors, man, I wish Miss Jones was here today. They said she passed away. I would pay Miss Jones for for allowing me to play my drums every day when she came home from work. She never said nothing, man. She didn't know what I was going to be or what I was going to do. But that woman used to hear me. I told her daughter, Vicky, I said, I wish your mother was alive so I could just love on her and tell her I thank her because it was because she didn't complain. I was able to play my drums. And she just said, yeah. Like her mother, I was very loud, but I was playing out of the apartment, man, 3310 18th Street, Southeast Parkland, man, apartment 204, never forget, man. And people used to hear me playing all the time, man, and used to knock on the door, ask my mother about me, Parliament, the organization Parliament, this group that was torn. I played with them for a while, but I ended up playing with a group playing in clubs. I wasn't even old enough to be in, and he had to hire me in the kitchen because I was too. I'm talking about clubs like Crystal Underground. I can't even remember some of these clubs. Clubs my mother used to go to. I was playing drums at. She used to let me actually go play drums in these clubs, man. They were paying me like $25 to $50 a night. My mother used to love that money. But after a while, man, that's when we had little Parkland bands. Some still went on, like Clash came later, but
go-go. They want to have some fun. You just slip and slide across the floor. Go-go. When you come into the go-go, they want to have some fun. You just slip and slide across the floor. Go-go.
We started playing with big name groups, and that's when I played with a group called Function, TKO. And Sugar Bear and EU and them was playing. We played with them out Columbia Park Elementary. And that's where Reds, from Reds and the Boys and Sugar Bear came and stood behind me while I was playing. And this was after playing in clubs and getting these professional offers, and they couldn't provide tutors. So my craft had went from playing in clubs to playing with Go-Go. I loved it because these guys my age, and we had fun, man. So they tapped me on my shoulder. I looked back, I saw them. I had on this big Mexican bandana, big old thing. And later on, Reds just passed me his number, said, call me one. He had a drummer named Kevin, their first drummer, but then, I wasn't really into taking people's spots. I didn't believe in that. But Reds gave me the opportunity to play with them. They loved me, they kept me, and we were playing with everybody.
Hello. When the ball in the down, then you come and go. You say what? Hello, sir. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about, sir. Say what? This is out to everybody from Northwest to come to Booker to y'all right now. Do it now. Take a little time for us to get warm on with y'all right now. When we get warm on up, we gonna be rolling and rolling. Never see you doing it when you do it, y'all. Another oops your eye is what you do. Good God, y'all, eat it, y'all. I say, another oops your eye, what you do. Good God, y'all, do it now. I say, another oops your eye, what you do. Good God, y'all, eat it, y'all. I say, another oops your eye, what you do. Give us that fella.
I mean, we played with everybody. I was probably the first drummer. I'm not on Moving and Grooving. That's when the drummer that's on that, I used to teach him rudiments up at Balut, Wayne Mickle. But that's when Darren Grice, keyboard player for Rare Essence, saw me playing with Reds, and he was going to help Reds out on keyboards because Reds was left Rare Essence. Reds played with Rare Essence. And he came to help with the keyboards. And later on, he said Funk was starting a band. So this was about a year into playing with Reds, but Reds had only paid me $5, man, for the whole time. And my mother used to say, son, you leaving out of here and you playing with this band and you coming in wee hours of the night and you don't have no money. What you doing now? I'm letting you play. So I never squawked it. She let me keep doing it because I was with, younger guys my age, and she just allowed me to do it. But Darren said, Funk starting his own band. I want y'all to come on over and let him hear y'all. Funk had heard about us, but me playing with Reds, but he tapped me on the shoulder. And I think Lil Beats went over with us too. Lil Beats came later, I think, but not too many went over with us. But we went down, Durr took me down the basement where Rasson's practice. Now, mind you, I heard in Rasson, but I ain't paying no mind. I didn't care who was what was what. I just love playing my drums. That's all I wanted to do was play my drums. Playing with Reds was exciting. People were starting to hear me and just playing and seeing people out there dance to your beat. But getting down the basement, I ain't know really Foots or cared too much about. I mean, this man was laying it down in the city. But to me, I was doing the same in another area, and I respected when I came down there. And then Funk started explaining what he wanted to do. I still really didn't never really hear rap. I was about, what, 14, 15, 16, one of them, still in high school, but that's when Funk started Proper Utensils. And I was the first drummer for second drummer for Reds and the Boys, first drummer for Proper Utensils, and when he created it. And that's when we were practicing one time, and Foots used to have to go out of town on his job. Foots was a computer technician. He had just started going to school. And he said, I'm gonna be leaving. He heard me practicing with him, and he came downstairs, and I still ain't know who he was. He said, I'm gonna be leaving, and I need somebody to back me up. I'm gonna audition people, but if you want it. What you doing now? Get it now. Clean up the yacht, baby. What you doing? What you doing, soldier? What you doing? Already good. Ready for Foots now? Come on, Foots. Come on now. So, hands in the air, yo. Get ready for Foots. I said, what? And put your hands in the air, yo. Get ready for Foots. I said, what? And put your hands in the air, yo. Get ready for Foots. Say what, Mr. G? And put your hands in the air, yo. Get ready for Foots. Man, that's playing drums. That's like asking a man, do he want to be black when he black? So I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Now, mind you, I still didn't know who Rasul really was. But once I started practicing with them boys, man, that's how I got Rasul practicing with Proper Utensils with Funk. And Foots coming down and asking me to back him up. He said, you sound like me. You can have it. So I said, I'll do it. And then I started playing with them, man. And that's when the limelight really opened up. Y'all You know, playing, doing go-go's, man, playing, doing the whole set, playing with proper utensils and raspers.
This party we started away past Hey, get it! Oh, hold it down, baby. Yeah! Hold it down. Say, hold it down, baby. Yeah! Well, pop the coochie, pop the coochie. Shake what your mama gave you. Pop the coochie, pop the coochie. Hey, yo, Mike. Raw, shake it, girl. Shake it, girl. How you doing, big boy? Pop the coochie, pop the coochie. Shake what your mama gave you. I bet that you heard.
Things that the drummers doing now, I did back in the 80s, you know, playing with all different types of groups, man. And just, I think I'm the first drummer that did the whole concert of every band. I don't know if anybody else did it. It might have, but I think I was the first one because proper utensils and Rassins do their shows. And I would play the whole, every, you know, the whole from start to finish. And Funk one day tried to get me to, he said, keep playing, don't stop. And Ned didn't want that. So Ned hollering in my ear, stop. Funk saying, keep playing. I'm still playing on stage by myself. Ain't nobody else. Rest is coming in. White boy, everybody coming in trying to fix this stuff. Ned, stop. So I stopped. But that used to be the fun part too, man. Playing with rations and proper utensils. And then it came to the point, man, I was getting tired. We talking about years of going to go-go's, man, and I was getting paid more than some of the members. Just backing up foot, sometimes I ain't even play. Really, honestly, I was getting paid more than some of the members of the band. That's just how valuable they thought I was to them. And they didn't want to let me go. In fact, one rehearsal, white boy, Ned was down there, the bass player, original bass player, white boy, Lil Benny, and who else was down there? David. And Miss Mack came downstairs. That's when Chuck Brown had called him and said, will you let Weez come over and play with me? And she came down the stairs and told us Chuck had called and asked for me to play with him. And I said, she said, she told him no. And we all looked at each other like, huh? And then we went right on back to praying. But right when Sugarfoots was going to leave, I probably would have been the next drummer for Chuck Brown if Miss Back hadn't have told him no on the phone that time. I would have left Rassus and played with Chuck Brown. But then came the time it was time for me to leave. And I think that's when Reality called me, Air Raid called me, and Lil Benny was starting, Lil Benny and the Masters. And what happened after that? I was playing with all of them at one time. I was doing shows with everybody. Lil Benny, Air Raid, and even Rasses. I played with all three of them one night. All three of them. I don't know how that happened, but I sure did. I'll never forget that night. Rasses still called me to back up foots, even though I wasn't on the payroll no more. I was still
Hold
getting a
on,
gig.
glad
But
for that. Hold on, I gotta stop you for a minute, man. I don't want y'all to just glass over certain things. Did y'all hear what this man said? This man said he played with all of those historical go-go bands, and he was an important, integral part from the seed. And a lot of times we miss this kind of stuff. We miss these type of folks, man. But not
I'm
here
trying
on
to stay in
Go-Go Round-
the.
we not missing them. We not missing them on Go Go Roundtable, especially not up close with Boo Jones. Man, we catch it, man. Hey, Weez, you know I always told you, man, that I always admired you, man. I admire you as a man,
Thank you, man.
and I admire you as an artist, man. So, man, you can continue, man. I just had to get that in there because that was on my heart, man. Because
No,
this is
man, I appreciate that, man. Playing, giving up my life back to the Lord. Of course, I started drums in church. I didn't mention that growing up in Parkland, that church that's on the corner, New Image Community Baptist Church, that's right on the corner, 18th in Alabama, next to Parkland. I was the first drummer. I was when that church was built. That's where I grew up in that church playing drums. So that's where the original came from. But playing all those years with all those bands, man, it was really, I made a lot of money, though it ain't can't compare to what they making now. But back then, just what Raz is paying me $125 a week
that's a lot of money.
for work. That was a lot of money back then. At first, it was more than what I was making on my job, minimum wage. So I was going to work and then playing with them at night and still coming home making more money playing with them. But that was the exciting time, man. I thank the Lord now that I gave my life back to Him, boo, and I minister drums now in the Assembly of the Saints, man. Trying to bless the Lord, do the best I can to be an example, even to sometimes musicians come through and sit in with us, man, go-go musicians, and I still try to hold to be a light now, man. So the direction has changed, but that's somewhat my foundation, playing with all those bands, man, and having the opportunity to play and the city receive me, in my gift, man. So even though I may not be as honored as some people probably feel I should, you can't take away what I've done. At some point, you got to remember that I did a lot of things for Bolo, and one of the foundational drummers. I know that I'm just grateful, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
thank
This
God.
guy Weez, man. Weez, we we go way back. We go way back, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah, back with the ovations. I mean, the Shady Groove times in Virginia,
yeah, yeah,
Tell us
yeah.
about that one, bro.
Yeah. Tell us about that, Weez.
man. But
Talk.
I'm gonna tell you, man, I don't know much about Shady Groove, but I know I still talk with Elwood Woods. Everybody know him as. Time to time. We talking with him. But I was telling Elwood, I told Boo the other day, man, Shady Groove was a reckoning force in go-go. Shady Groove is an iconic go-go force, man. They from the foundation too, man. Back when go-go was hitting the platform to become what it is today, Shady Groove, Ovation. They were the two main Virginia bands. But Shady Groove, man, I'm telling you, their record. I was somewhere with Kevin Smith, who sometimes backs up Trouble Funk, and we were enjoying. We were sitting down, and they went to the go-go thing. But actually, Boo, man, when they started playing, I was surprised to see that Shady Groove still on the market like that with people. But to be around people and they were dancing, saying Shady Groove. I remember Shady Groove, and it was like, man, yeah, Shady Groove, man, Boo. You putting them on the map, man. But I'm gonna tell you, man, don't think that people don't remember Shady Groove. I'm telling you, Shady Groove they still party off that record at parties right now today. Last summer we was doing that over Kevin
Man,
Smith house.
I always get kudos, man. Them my homies. They made a hell of a record, man. Because when I came up with the name Shady Groove, man, I never, you know, knew the business or any of that stuff, man. And I wasn't, I was still in the streets a little bit. But they took the baton, man, and they that record is iconic. I put it in the top 10, man. Go
Yeah,
go.
man. Go-Go now, man, has taken a change where it's sad to see that we're not honoring the legendary side of go-go, man. I think every genre gives props to those that have laid a foundation, but now music has changed. The principles of music, the musicianship in go-go has changed, and it's not honored like music. Period, man. Across the board, it's hard to find real music. People making real music anymore. Back then, man, the go-go bands were distinct, man. Every go-go band kind of had their own sound, made their own music, and they had
Talk
their
about that.
own go-go sound.
Talk about that for a minute, Weez. You gotta talk about that.
Well, most definitely,
What
man.
band? Now, check this out. On that note, if you had to take a person from now to the beginning of Go Go, and you had to put a team together, and any for each instrument, you gotta pick a person, just one person for each instrument, and you put an all-star historical all-time Go Go band together. Come on, name
Well, I hate to be biased about it, but I would
it.
probably not pick. I would probably not pick too many iconics because
We'll
you're
we
gonna
want
get
your
people.
we value your that's your opinion, man. You got the right to your opinion. You
Now,
speak
if I were to pick now any set to be in my band around
now you
me, or
saying we from the beginning to now. I ain't talking about just from now. I'm talking about from the beginning. You was around when it
yeah,
started, you around now. So give me a
yeah.
historical all time go go band all star team.
Well,
From nine
it would have to be James Funk,
okay.
Little Benny, because they artists. They were Benny was an artist. He may not get what he gets should get now, the recognition, because times change, people change, the mindset of go-go has changed. But I think Lil Benny, who would definitely be a reckoning force now, because his voice and how he drives and his artist, man, as a musician, is cutting. It cuts. I think I would get G from Backyard to also help him out. I think I would probably have to, for a while, bring my main man, Jungle Boogie, but I would have Mickey on the side. Wink would definitely come along too, to sit in and we switch that thing up. But as far as drums, I would probably be on that team. I get Juju, I get Ned, Sugar Bear, and I like Mike on bass that plays with Rassens now. I like Mike on the bass. I like what he's doing. But my all-time guitar player going to definitely be White Boy. I'm sorry. It, we still have a relationship. There ain't no love lost. I know why we I'm not. I know God is the reason why I haven't been doing any reunions. Not no nothing on anybody else. So, but it was kind of something a misunderstanding that Ned and I had, and it went alongside in the organization. So White Boy never called me to do the reunions, but no love lost. When we see each other, it's still the same. I'm always going to be family because I know that what we had together, you had to be special. That band was special, but that's on guitar, White Boy. I like Wendell who played with Reality, but as far as rapping, it would be Ned. I mean, Funk, Lil Benny, and G, and then I probably like I said, Jungle Boogie and Mickey and Wink on Coongers. And the horn
You ain't
section,
got yeah.
go ahead.
You ain't got the
DC
keyboards yet.
most as well. Oh, the keyboards? Well, man, it's going to definitely be Darren Grice, of course, because we were together yesterday in the studio working on this project, and he started playing stuff, man. And Scotty would tell you, it was like, don't play that, don't do that, because we're gonna miss out, we're gonna lose focus. He started playing that stuff again, man. You talking about the chords? See, Darren Grice was the Fender Rhodes. A lot of people don't know that. He don't get the recognition hardly at all as an artist. But Godfather was Hammond organ. But the man that created all the little sweet little Fender Rose chords, they go to Darren Grice. He invented them. He made those chords up that made the sound, help establish that sound of Erasmus. And people don't know that. You're gonna have to get him to to talk about who he is. I'm telling you, because they missing the fact, man. When that man, he don't get any recognition, man, none. That man helped create the sound that grasses everybody loved back in the '80s.
Man, that hey
Darren
man,
drummers.
you already you already know though. So what's known don't need to be said. You already know we gonna hey look here at Go Go Round Table at Boo Jones up close to Boo Jones, we getting them. You gonna get it right here. If you still here, God bless you, still be here. Oh yeah,
Man, it's always a wonderful thing, man, to be recognized, man. So, I thank God that he humbles me, man. And one thing I don't like to do, and they'll tell you in the church, man, I don't like to exalt myself, man. I stay in the corner, I sit in the back, and if you need a drummer, ain't no drummer. You might see me if there's a church I'm inside in and they playing and ain't no drummer. You might see me walk up, get on the drums, and start praising the Lord. And there ain't nobody gonna say nothing because I'm gonna just come right in with what they need, man. But I thank the Lord, man, for praising the Lord now, man. We definitely need to be mindful that God is the reason why, man, by His Son, Lord Jesus Christ, man, dying on the cross for us, man. He's the reason why we still wake up and breathe. So I
that's right.
thank God I have first had the opportunity to bless the Lord on drums, and then backsliding that He saw me still fit to pull me and call me back into the kingdom, man. So I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to just share what I did in the time that I played go-go, man. I love go-go. I know I own go-go because I'm a foundational drummer. I set the stage. I did things, like I said, man, that these drummers doing now, playing with this band, playing with that band, playing, running every night, doing this, two and three bands in one night. I was doing that in the '80s. Juju and them was doing it a little bit, but I was before them. And if Juju tell you, he said he used to listen to me, and that's kind of baffles me, man, because Juju, off the top, hearing him and Mac Curry from Trouble used to be with the
That's
Peach
my
Makers,
man, Mac.
man.
God
Come
bless
on
his soul.
now,
Man, come on. We talk
them
about Mac
drummers.
from Eastgate,
Go
man.
ahead.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Mac from Eastgate, man. Little brother Bebop, he was nice on the drums too. But me and his brother Rick,
Now,
we used to hit go-go's together back in the '80s, early '80s, man. So yeah, Mac used to go with my cousin BB, like my sister. He used to go with her, and so man, we go back, man. So a lot of history, man, and we connected, even if we didn't physically know one another. We connected, and I believe, like you said, connected by that higher power, man. That
most
spirit.
definitely, man. Most definitely, man. It's good. I love go-go now. I don't like the way it's going because I think the principles of music, like I said back then, we were you could distinctly tell what band was what sound. Most of the time, especially if you was an iconic band, people love you for your originals you made, the little chants you did, and your sound. Now, when I hear it, man, it's very seldom can I tell who it is. I'm like, it's the same beat. Of course, we did the same beat, but the body of what we were doing, the organs, the bass, everything had a distinct sound about. Now you could tell by the rapper. We understand that a distinct voice is a distinct voice. But when I don't hear the rapper, I'm like, who is that? I can't tell whether they explosive band or just a little young band from somewhere. Somebody just receive. I'm serious. I cannot tell. The drummers play the same, and let me just say, they are very very gifted. The drummers now, I'm very proud of. They are very, very gifted drummers, man. I admire what some of the things that they do. I just think sometimes it's a little bit overplayed. That's how Juju and Mac used to do them, man, because they were just explosive drummers, man. Two. You couldn't help make them hold their talent, man. That's why Juju is world renowned himself right now, man. But I'm proud of the drummers now, but I don't really like the direction of where Go-Go is now. It's kind of hurt sometimes to see what I helped build and start is going in a direction that's not really notable and it's fading out. Like, you hear about it, but it's like I'm 59, but still I don't hear people. It's not on the map to me. I might be me. I might be dated. I don't hear them now, but that's very serious. It's a genre of music that people around the world are listening to right now today, man, from from old, whether they like it from the new. Now, what I hear is the new people just saying it's the same beat, sound like trash. And I don't agree with that, but I agree with that because I don't like them saying that about our music. But the level of artistry there, man, our gifts. We were making albums, we were doing music, man. It should have been on the map then, but of course it just didn't make it then. But Go-Go still struggles, and I guess that's disheartening. But I love Go-Go. I thank you all for this opportunity, man, to speak.
Yeah, you gotta get your top 10 in, man, before we go, man. You gotta get your top 10 in, man. Top 10 go.
All time top 10 bands. Okay, all time top 10 bands. I would have to. This gonna sound biased, but I can't help it, man. I love Rare Essence, man. That's gonna be my all-time top 10 number one band, of course, because that's my heart's there. I got I got some stock in that. You know what I mean? I got,
That's right.
you hear Rasses, you might pull up something with me playing in it. And like before, we talked about Boo. You know, for about 2 years they called me Foots. So it's tapes out there with me. You think it's Foots, but it was me, hands in the air, get ready for Weez until Lance did it one day in a show down in Norfolk. So they still were acknowledging me as Foots for about a year and a half, 2 years before they changed it to Weez. Lance did that. God rest his soul, man. But back to the bands, Rare Essence. I'm gonna have to say Rare Essence. I love EU from the 80s.
You want to do it again? 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 You want one more time down? You want two more times down? You want three more times down? You want four more times down? Say what now? Say what? Say what? Make it mellow. 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 Now make it mellow.
80s EU with Butch on drums and then Juju getting on there for a while. That has to be the number two. And the number three, I love Trouble Funk. I know I'm going with the top three bands, but you got to go with the top three bands if you're a real musician.
Say what now? Y'all look like y'all
have to say Trouble Funk coming in next. And then after that, I'm gonna go somewhere y'all might say, God dang, yeah, Mass Extinction. Because if you do it 48 times, you good. If you heard them boys hit it, man,
And
good.
look, if you're a connoisseur, a lot of people don't know. Man said, "Get on the wagon."
Man, Mass Extinction will have to come up first.
Say what? That makes your food to be one. Say what? That makes your body move. You got to lock it in the pocket. That makes you move your feet. Is this the groove now? Have mercy. That makes your body move. Is that the beat of beat? Say what? That makes you move your feet. Is this the groove, y'all? Have mercy. That makes your body move. Is that the beat, y'all? Lock it in the pocket. That makes you move your feet. Say what? Is this the groove, y'all? All right, then. Is y'all ready for the baby? Well, look at it, baby. Are you all funked up and ready to go? Say we all funked up and ready to roll. Are you all funked up and ready to go? Say we all funked up and ready to roll. Are you all funked up and ready to go? I say we all funked up and ready to go. Are you all funked up and ready to go? I say we all funked up and ready to go. We got work to do. We got work to do. We got work to do. We got work to do.
And after that, we're gonna come into a day and age where I gotta say it's gonna be backyard.
Eastgate, right there, town. First the place for my own. So good. Silver City. Spill. 49th and Wild. Spill. Real. It's rock.
Northeast Groovers. That's gonna be about what, 5 bands? Well, that's 6 right there.
Know
What?
I know you can't leave them out.
Who?
Who?
Them Bird Farm
Who,
dudes.
boo?
Junkyard.
Oh, you know what? I was just in the car a little while ago saying people don't know Junkyard is a master band. They are the face of go-go to me because them boys started with buckets. That's masterful, man. You talking about a band that was on the map, putting them on posters, playing with everybody, beating on buckets and cans in the backyard alley. Come on, man. And then you
So
gonna make a record,
that's 7.
sardines and pork and
That's
beans,
7,
and
right?
everybody know it.
8.
So
He on
that's
8.
7,
He
right?
got 8. He
Is
got
that
8.
7?
That's 8.
But no, but then I'm gonna have to go back because junkyard gonna come up probably right after mass extinction, and junkyard, and then backyard and northeast group.
Let's go to my old school. We're here to roll. Good to see you, Chuck. Round the floor. Go ahead, Mike. Take it where they're supposed to go.
But
No,
I
no,
can't
but
finish.
Weez, you can do 10, man. It's just like
Now,
doing
okay,
10.
well, okay, now, of course, I help. I'm the original member of Prop Utensils, original member of Lil Benny and the Masters, original member of Lil Benny and the Masters and the Legends. Now, if I'm gonna add any more, I'm gonna have to say reality gonna come up after Northeast Groove.
All y'all was up here last night. Raise your hand like this. All y'all was here last night. Everybody must have been 2 minutes. The party. I ain't want to party last night. Woo! Where my work going up to 15 in all night? I don't know. Ooh. Where my work going up to 50, y'all? Got very well gone out to DC, y'all. A woman of DC. Got very well gone out to Cam. DJ Blue Boogie. We got a very well gone out to Dwayne, y'all. We got a very well gone out to Damn it. We got a very well gone out to Weez. We got a very well gone out to Lucho B. We got a very well gone out to Jeff Rowe, y'all. Where we meet me. Dude, hey, Marky. Woo! Yeah. And he's slowly moving back there. Oh, and the boy went west, you're not all the people coming moving tonight.
Then after reality, we're gonna have to go with Lil Benny and the Masters, and then playing with Lil Benny and the Legends, which was the first group
We're going
to
to stay with
perform.
them together. But it's
Yeah.
one group. It's
Let,
one
let,
group.
go ahead,
I
young.
got to go. I'm getting ready to go over Maryland for a minute, man. You know, we got to
Oh
go out
man,
Maryland.
air raid.
Come on, man.
Come on, come on, start the blues song. Get it. All right. Oh, round about up, yo. Round about up. In the socket show. In the pocket now. Who knows it? y'all want to do? Do you want to back it on up now? Back it on up, y'all. Back it on up now. Back it on up. Do you want to do it again? Do it again, y'all. Do it again. Oh, wind it on up, y'all. Wind it on up. In the socket, Suitland. In the pocket, Capital Heights.
My time with Air Raid, running up and down, man. Air Raid, playing with Air Raid. You know what? I'm
Right,
sorry.
right.
Now we're gonna have to go back down the script again. We're gonna have to come out the back junkyard and do Air Raid back of the '80s. That Air Raid of the '80s because they had a sound that was they was tearing Merlin up. When I left Razzles and they called me to come play with them, I was playing with them, but I would play with Razzles sometimes too and Lil Benny Bang. But when I played with them, I had to make a choice which band I was going to go with, Lil Benny and the Masters or Air Raid. Rare Essence wasn't calling me that much no more. I'm not on the payroll, but they still calling me. So when they call me, I'm a jump because that's money in the pocket. And I love playing with them. That's family. But I had to make a choice between Lil Benny and Air Raid. And I believe that Shorty didn't forgive me for that until like the till the late '90s. But playing with Air Raid, I had to make the choice. I had so much more fun playing with Air Raid. That boy, them boys, man, from Maryland, Air Raid, the original Air Raid, good grade. It was almost more fun playing with Raz. Raz was a little bit more serious because you knew that it was a sound, man, that you enjoyed, but it was a lot more professional. It was professional playing with Air Raid, but Resonance was Miss Mac didn't cut it. She ain't go for a whole bunch of stuff. Daryl might have let Air Raid do a little bit more, little more
I
loose.
tell, I
But
tell you,
Resonance, yeah,
the creator
huh?
help came through Air Raid while we sitting here talking now because Doc helped kind of join some things together right here, man, while we talking right now. So we gotta
Doc on
acknowledge
the
that.
line.
Yeah,
Doc on the
yeah.
line.
Nah, he
Doc,
not
oh
online.
man, he going
You know, if Doc was
oh
online, you ask that.
he
You know,
probably burned me up a little bit because I ain't say Air Raid, man. But yeah, Air Raid, man. You know, being 59, sometimes I slip. Last night I had to tell him, hold up, man, y'all going too fast, too many parts, man. Let me catch this part first. Man, but you know, man, I think Air Raid, if for any of the bands, man, I played with, man, to name them all, starting with well-known bands, Proper Utensils, Rassens, Lil Benny, Air Raid, Reality, um, who else? Lil Benny and the Legends, and I don't think it's anybody else, man. But I did get a chance to play with EU one night. Juju ain't show up. That was an honor. But I am on the Chuck Brown. I did play with Chuck Brown one night. Sad to say, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was drunk as a skunk that night, man. And I wasn't expecting to play. I got in free. But you know, it was 2002, 2000. The Put Your Hands Up album. I'm on that album when White Boy, Lil Benny, G, and Rasmus was playing, and G started talking for a minute. But I gotta tell y'all, Milton saw me there in the back. I was drunk. Shouldn't have been drunk, but I was drunk. I wasn't with Mickey drunk, but I was drunk. And Milton saw me, he jumped off the drums and gave me the sticks. Everybody looking at me like, what? He left. I had to get up there and start playing. I looked over his milk. He left, he went somewhere. I had to get on stage, start playing. I was drunk that night. But man, that was so much fun. I was playing, but when it was time for me to get off, you know what, boo? I ain't never been a big head man. But I gotta say, I must have hit a note on some of them jokers because it was like, man, you could hear the people got mad when I stopped.
Man, you done got
Chuck
some movies
Brown,
you had to remind some things. Why didn't Chuck make your top 10?
well, you know, I, I think Chuck, to me, was the conqueror, man. It was
Yeah.
unfair. So
So
he was
basically,
all,
hold
he
on.
was,
You say you saying, and like a lot of people say, disregard Chuck because he set apart.
yeah,
His
Chuck is the king with the crown. And you put him in there, I'm just gonna say it how I say it, but Chuck is, you can't compare. He ain't got to be on the list of top 10. He is the 10 because he started it. Everybody, everything we did, every band that did anything started off of that. What he said. So everything, every band, even now, I'm say that I don't know because they not really making music. But if they making music and they using the principal guideline of what music's supposed to be about, and it ain't about being on stage, being seen, and kang 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 kang. It's about a group of musicians that's jailed together. And when it comes together, they make music and being positive about it, and it automatically clicks. To me, that's a band. You got a lot of stuff people put together, but they don't click. So they try hard to be hits. And one or two or three in there might be a hit, but they with the wrong folks. Chuck Brown band, every band he had was a jail. They just Chuck Brown is go-go. You automatically know. He not him, I can't say he in the top 10. He is the 10. How about that? I'm serious on that. He is the 10. We are, it's like God. We men, we made in his image. We say he's the best one on earth. Who the first man? Nah, we already know he is who we are. That's how I
get
feel
it.
about Chuck Brown
Yeah.
Go.
Train said I feel like busting loose. Keep what you got until you get what you need, y'all. You got to give a lot just to get what you need sometimes, y'all. Give me the bridge now. I feel like busting loose. Give me the bridge, y'all. Give me the bridge now, now. I feel like busting loose now. Busting loose in the evening. Busting loose can be pleasing. Talking about busting loose, y'all. Busting loose in the meantime. Busting loose make you feel fine. Talking about busting loose, girl. Busting loose to my love Jones. Busting loose to each his own. Talking about busting loose.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great analogy, man.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy.
He is
And
go-go, man.
and we, man, we winding down, but man, this is some priceless stuff, man. I already knew. I knew when you came on, man, because the spirit is with you, and the spirit bear witness to the spirit. So that's our thing. We know about that.
Yeah.
But man, this is real good stuff, man. This is priceless. Man, thank you, man. Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
an honor, man, to say this piece, man. I just want to say to the musicians now, respect your craft. Respect your craft. Do your best you can to be good at your craft. Master your craft. Spend time learning it, even if it's a cowbell. Spend time learning where that corner that sound like this and how to hit it. Be direct with it. You always want your music, your instrument to be saying something. You're not this on stage to be seen. It's not about, you have to sound good so people like what they hear. And when you do that, you master your instrument and you take your time, respect your instrument. But on top of that, give God the glory because he woke you up and allowed you to do that, gave you the strength to do that. So don't forget to thank him, man, in the name of Jesus. Be blessed.